How's it, everyone? Welcome, guys. I'm so excited that you joined us. While we wait for everyone to arrive, please let us know and what your business is and what your challenges are at the moment so that we know who we've got in our audience. How's it, Karen? Happy to have you on board. Let me know where you're from and maybe pop in your LinkedIn profile so that you guys can follow each other and check out each other's business pages. Hello, Tanya. How's it, Sean? So glad you guys are here. Very excited to be sharing these 3 secrets with you and lots of value to be able to add it here today. Hello, Glenn. Hi, Lindy. Hi, Laurie, all the way from Benoni. How's it, Nicolene? Glynis. Oh, guys are coming thick and fast. Cape Town, how's it? How's it, Quentin? Gary, Judy. Yeah, Elise, career coach. Oh, wonderful. Elise, we've got a lot of career coach clients, so this is the absolutely perfect system for you to be learning from. Hi, Lorraine, estate agent. Yes, you've got some interesting times ahead of you. Isabel from Saldanha Bay. Anba, good morning. Hello from sunny Johannesburg. How's it, Max? Ashley. Daryl Morris, a lawyer. We've had a couple of lawyers on recently, so that's quite interesting. It seems that our lawyer friends are becoming far more versed in LinkedIn and how to use it. Benita, Q2B solutions for venues, software solutions for hospitality. It'd be interesting to see how your business has had to pivot during these times. Lindy, thank you. There you go, guys. Here's some LinkedIn profiles coming through. Go check them out. Make sure that you guys follow each other. Capital equipment sales, Tanya, that's very interesting. Hello, Corin. Nice to see you, headhunter from Joburg. LinkedIn is your best friend, Corin. Glad to have you on board. Hello, Carol, all the way from Spain, trying to get the European office going. How exciting. Always nice to try something new during these times. With every type of, adversity and whatever happens in the world, guys, we've always got to figure out, is there a positive? Is there an opportunity? How can we pivot? What can we change? We've got to try and smile through it. Lindy, business coach and mentor. Pleased to see you. Angie, NPO. Hi, Taryn, marketing, graphic designer, social media manager, and PE. Your PE is normally very, very well represented. So, guys, I want you just, while you guys are busy telling us where you're from and so forth, I've got a couple of scenarios here that I want to take you through. And I want you just to let me know in the chat which best describes you, because things have changed so much recently, and we are all in a stage where every business needs clients and not just leads, and we don't have the budgets necessarily to spend a whole lot of money on advertising. We're never quite sure whether it is actually going to work. So is this something in your industry where it's been, clients have always come to you, you've never really had to chase them? I know my business has been like that. Everything was a little bit word of mouth. So I've never really had to actively market myself. So is that something that you guys are finding? Or possibly, you've, and no offense to the guy in the image, it's the best one I could find without getting derogatory. Those snake oil salesmen, the ones that are promising you the world and nothing really happens. I know in the marketing industry, that's something we face quite a bit. From our clients, we come in at the end when our clients have really struggled and have had somebody sell them something or promise something, and it's not their fault, guys. It's, we are living in times where absolutely you should try everything. Or maybe, you're at a stage now where you're realizing the world is now starting to open again. Countries are starting to reopen for business, and we need to figure out which channels are going to be best for us, what traffic channels do we use, and which are going to give us our biggest bang for our buck. And then one thing that's come out that's really, really cool is a lot of guys that have been on our calls have been finding new opportunities and new, ways to, now I need to get that business up and going because I've either been retrenched or I want to take my business online now. I want to pivot. I want to try a different realm. Let me know in the chat where you guys are at, because it's, depending on where you're at is obviously your objectives are going to be slightly different. But the one thing we do all have in common is this picture. It's a little overwhelming, isn't it? This is the social media landscape for 2020. So when I was doing research and putting the webinar together, and also when I was looking at some traffic channels for some of my clients, I didn't know so many traffic channels existed. So, and I'm in this game. It's very overwhelming. where do you pick? Where do you start? And every day new ones pop up. And, every person you talk to says, oh, no, you got to try this. Jira is the way to go. Oh, TikTok is the bomb. How do you know? And if you're mostly in the B2B space, it's even worse because, we all know certain channels work for certain audiences. And let's not joke, guys, even more so than ever. None of us have the luxury to go and figure out, throw some, money at a problem and see, okay, well, let's see how this is going to work. Every rand and dollar that we've got has to be turned around 6 times to make sure we're getting absolute bang for our buck. So where do you focus? Well, we say to our clients, it's pretty easy. You focus where your clients are. And that's the first differentiator I want you guys to figure out is go and sit down and identify your end clients, your end customers. Where are they hanging out? And not just where are they hanging out, but where are they consuming and investing time as opposed to just chillaxing and, shooting the breeze and watching some weird cat videos or whatever the latest is. But before we go into all of that, I quickly just want to introduce the team to you. My name is Esty. I am a customer acquisition specialist. And basically what that means is I have the distinct privilege to work with a range of businesses to help them get customers and clients. So I have a fun job. It's been interesting times over the last couple of months, obviously because a lot of businesses have had to pivot and new avenues of getting clients have come to fore. And this is actually why this webinar started. And Tilly will also tell you when she introduces herself, we all run businesses, me, Brian, and Tilly. This is not our day job, so to speak. But we did find that a lot of businesses had a commonality of struggling on how to get clients and qualified leads that they can, pull into their businesses. We've got Brian manning the chat. Brian is an absolute expert in lead generation with regards to pay per lead. He focuses on industries such as the insurance industry, health industries, and so forth. And he really helps businesses that want to know a finite definition of how much they're going to be spending and how much they can afford to spend on getting a lead, which then obviously changes into a client at a future date. And then we've got Tilly on board. Tilly?
Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you, Esty. Like Esty said, yes, we all run our own businesses, and I've got more than 35 years business experience in the IT industry, call centers, as well as marketing. For the last 12 years, I've spent my life in LinkedIn for my own business, as well as assisting my clients doing a done-for-you service. And during this time, I discovered some secrets in LinkedIn that you will not find on Google. So I'm very excited today to come and share it with you. So Esty, back to you.
Thanks, Tilly. Right, so let's get back to that whole concept. Okay, where are my clients hanging out? Okay, so we're going to ignore that very treacherous slide we had 2 slides ago, as if, with all the millions of channels that we've got going. LinkedIn, if you need any more justification as to where your clients are hanging out, this slide is it. I'm not going to read it all to you guys because you guys can go and have a look and so forth. These are actual LinkedIn stats. This is not something that was done by some marketing agency or so forth. The one stat here that also needs to be added, that's really, really important, is the fact that over 80% of B2B, business-to-business leads come from LinkedIn. That's a very large stat. And for those of you saying, yes, well, this looks very international, so forth, we've got over 7 million active users, monthly active users on LinkedIn in South Africa. So it's quite a large pool for us to be fishing in. And it's a very awesome opportunity to get in almost at the forefront of using this channel in South Africa to get it, working for you, investing the time for you, because in certain instances, we are still quite and what we've learned. And that's why it's going to be so cool today, because the stuff we're going to be going through, those 3 secrets, is really something that we've learned over the years, the 12, 15 odd years we've been working with our clients with this. And it's the tweaks that we've had to make and the very expensive lessons we've had to learn. I promise you, there have been some interesting challenges from a LinkedIn perspective. And I'm sure you guys can tell me in the chat that you've had some hair-raising experiences that happen. But really, guys, the gist of the slide really is just to show you, if you're not on LinkedIn, I can guarantee you your competitors are there. Okay, so that's great. Now we know LinkedIn is it, right? All good and well. You'll just jump onto LinkedIn, you'll create a profile, you'll Google some stuff, you'll figure out, how to, there's myriad of how-to checklists, how to set this up, how to do this, how to do lead generation and so forth. Remember that, back to that sleazy salesperson that we spoke earlier. And then you'll just implement the suggestions, right? So, it should be as simple as that. It really should. I hate to break it to everyone. 3.5 billion search results when you go in, how do I use LinkedIn? Now, that's to me quite defeating because, where do you start? And who, as a business owner, has got time to go and sift through 3.5 billion results? Never mind trying to figure out what is right. Who's just doing paid advertising to get you to download their latest, greatest download or whatever it is, or checklist or a thought leadership piece. So it really is overwhelming. So if the social media landscape in terms of traffic wasn't overwhelming enough, it just gets worse. And that's why Tilly says what we're going to deal with today, guys, is teaching you how to really adapt certain things that you can't Google. It's tried and tested with our client. It's something that we've learned. And the first aspect that I wanted to remember, guys, I said back to go and figure out where it is that your clients are hanging out. So this is the bad bit, right? If you don't have an understanding of LinkedIn, it's really like being on a sports field for those that love sports. And the result is really, the game is over before the whistle has even blown. And even worse yet is if your competitors have an understanding of how to use the channel effectively and how to invest time in the channel and make it work for them, you're almost 10 steps behind. I think you actually haven't even left the, the changing rooms. So this is a normal journey that we find with clients, okay? They write their profile, LinkedIn profiles. They set up a company page, and Tilly's going to teach you the difference between the two because it's critically important. They start reaching out to some people that they want to do business with, and there's another little secret there that Tilly's going to be talking to you about. Then they post some content. And then normally what happens is nothing. It's absolute crickets. The majority of the clients we work with, guys, this is exactly what happens. Because you're following all the steps that someone said to you, listen, just go and do this. It's as easy as doing ABC, and clients are going to fall out the sky. What we do want to say to you, though, is you're in good company. We've all been there. Trust me. When we started out in doing a done-for-you service and figuring out how clients need to be generated and so forth, we learned some very, very harsh lessons. And we're trying to save you the wasted time and effort that it went in from our perspective. And it really today is a knowledge-sharing session. And you'll see later, the cool thing about what we're going to be doing today is not going to be theory. It's going to be looking over Tilly's shoulder. So she's actually going to delve into LinkedIn and take you through those 3 secrets and where to do what. So I really encourage you, take some notes, but better yet, sit and listen. You'll get the recordings because we are going to have to move a little bit fast because there's so much we want to share with you. And we don't just want to give you a high-level overview. So the one thing that you need to take out from all of this, the social media landscape, knowing where your customers and clients are hanging out, and the fact that there's such a large choice in that little 3.5 billion number that is floating around, LinkedIn's a science. And this is what makes it completely different from every other traffic channel that is out there. There are 21 steps that you've got to do consecutively. So you can't start at 21, then go to step 4, maybe figure out how to do 17. LinkedIn doesn't work that way. The algorithms aren't set up that way. And that's where we came up with the 21 steps, because we know that's where we got slapped by LinkedIn. And being slapped by LinkedIn means you don't get clients. And in certain instances, getting slapped by LinkedIn means they ban your account. Tilly's going to go through that as well for you, how, dealing with those little aspects, how to deal with what do you do in those instances. So we obviously don't have time to go through all 21, guys, but we've picked 3 of critical ones that we need to get through to you guys and explain to you how to master, so that you really can get this channel to work with you and for you, as opposed to working against it and getting frustrated. And, you know, it really is quite tiring, trying and nothing is going along your way. So I want you guys to let me know in the chat, who has been the recipient of this, or has maybe committed some of these little sins. I know I have, on both sides. So where things normally go wrong, besides your 3 steps that you've already followed, is someone makes a connection with you, or you make a connection, and the next message that comes through is they're selling you the entire kitchen sink, or they're selling you, and it's not even applicable to you. Let me know in the chat who's had that. I mean, it's not even 4 seconds, and you get the sales messages coming through. I had someone selling me the other day. It was quite interesting. It was scaffolding equipment. And I felt bad for the guy, because I was like, okay, you need to understand your audience, but also, you cannot go out and just spam people. LinkedIn's not built that way. LinkedIn, and Tilly's going to show you guys that it's a relationship building system. The other one is you use the same. My best are the automated messages. LinkedIn doesn't like automation. They actually punish you for using automation. Why? Again, it's a relationship building system. So you can't just use the same message for every single person. That's why LinkedIn encourages you to edit your connection message, to write a personalized message. If you take nothing out from today, that's lesson number 1, besides finding out where your customer and clients are hanging out. And then this is a big challenge our clients face. They go, Tilly, Esty, Brian, I can't pin down my client. Everybody's my client. LinkedIn likes specificity. We have a saying in marketing, if you market to everyone, you market to no one. So besides knowing who your client is, you've got to figure out who that person is. Is it a data center manager? Is it an HR manager? Is it a call center team leader? Go and figure out. You guys have got the 42 questions that we've given you as a freebie. Go and sit and do that. That is probably the most ignored aspect of doing any marketing campaign, is really delving into who your client is, so that you can pinpoint what your USP is going to be. And you will, I promise you guys, you will save yourself a lot of time in terms of knowing what messaging to use. How do you approach it from a welcome message, a connection message, the content that you need to put out there? And Tilly's going to show you guys all that in a little bit. Because here really is the thing, right? Leads don't equal clients. We know that. And anybody that is saying to you that you can follow 3 simple steps with LinkedIn and clients are going to fall through the sky, really, guys, I want to just make sure heed those, because it's not that simple. Okay, so LinkedIn is a science, and you've got to follow the steps, the 21 steps. And if you don't, what happens is you end up with a lack of cash flow. And that's probably the reason 9 out of 10 businesses fail, is lack of cash flow. And the reason that lack of cash flow comes is because you're sitting with all these unqualified leads that are never, ever going to convert into buying clients. Let me know in the chat, guys, who of you here, because I've been there as well, you get to a desperation stage, or not even, because you haven't defined your perfect client, you take absolutely anything that comes your way. And the amount of time that you waste, doing proposals, setting up meetings, only 3 weeks later, the client or prospective lead goes, yeah, no, sorry, thank you, this is not really for me. Think of all that wasted time that you could have done and used to be prospecting on LinkedIn, on making relationships more valuable, because you've pinpointed that client absolutely specifically. That's the value that you guys are going to learn today. So we really, really want to take the guesswork out of it for you. And because none of us ever, but even more so, have the luxury of just wasting time and going for it. And we really want you to have the biggest bang for your buck with these 3 little secrets that we've learned along the way. So Tilly, I'm going to hand over to you and open that LinkedIn treasure trove of yours and show our attendees what we've got.
Thank you very much, Esty. Guys, I'm really excited to spend this time with you today, because the one thing that I want you to take home today, if there's one goal that I have, is that to show you that LinkedIn is in fact the most powerful marketing tool for business to business companies. If you understand the power of LinkedIn and how LinkedIn is actually structured to support your business goals and your marketing strategies, you are going to go leaps and bounds in your businesses and start having the growth that you deserve. Did you know? I'm going to go through these 3 secrets with you, but the first secret that I want to share with you today is, where do you start with LinkedIn? And this is where most people go wrong. They normally skip this step because it seems boring or it seems not necessary. The starting point of LinkedIn is the settings, the settings and the configuration. You see, what you need to understand is LinkedIn is set up for their clients. They are a social media platform, so they need to ensure that their clients are having a good experience. So just because their default settings are set up for their clients and giving their clients a good experience doesn't necessarily mean that it is a good experience for you and your clients. So now what happens is, a lot of people go into LinkedIn and just start. They immediately just start setting up profiles and start sending out messages and start doing content and all sorts of things. And they do not realize that in all that hard work that they're busy doing, getting new connections and setting everything up for their clients and looking for that leads that so many people crave to have on LinkedIn, that in actual fact doing a platform perfect for their customers, and their competitors is now going to come in and see what they're doing, because it's going to be all visible. Why? Because LinkedIn is setting it up for their clients, not yours. Do you want to see how this works? I'm quickly going to jump into my LinkedIn profile. And this is really going to be amazing to you when you see it. Let me show you on my LinkedIn profile how this actually works. You see, there's a setting in LinkedIn that if you're not aware of this and you don't go and remove the default setting, then what you're going to do is you're going to start inviting people to your profile, and you're going to get them to understand what you're doing, and you've spent a lot of time in setting up your profile in the most perfect way you possibly can. And as they start scrolling down, reading all your good stuff and what you've prepared for them so that they can ultimately connect with you, because that is the objective, they get to this area around about here. And what they will see on the right-hand side, where you see this big blank block, will be the profiles of other LinkedIn users with similar profiles to yours. Now, a similar profile to mine is my competitor. Now, if you don't know about this, you are not going to change the default setting, and you're going to get, people are going to come down here and get other opportunities and options to go out and to actually go, and then they can select your competitor and they can go in and see what they have, and in that way you are going to lose out. So do you want me to show you how this actually works and where you need to go to prevent these kind of settings that can really hinder you? Well, let's go into the settings. I'm quickly going to show you the most critical settings you absolutely have to watch out for. There are more, And unfortunately, we do not have the time. And what I'm going to show you is the tip of the iceberg, but this is really going to help you to make sure that the most critical settings you've set up in the right way. So this is the setting I'm talking about. Viewers of this profile also viewed. In other words, LinkedIn is saying, you found this profile, but I also have this one and this one and this one for you, so you can go out and choose. So the setting is normally set to yes, but what I want you to do is go into your profile settings and make sure that you change this to no. You do not want people to go and view other profiles while they're on your profile, because that way you're just opening up everything and you can lose opportunities of building relationships with your ideal clients. The other area that people are sometimes not aware of, and this is actually also one that really could hinder your progress. Esty spoke about people that go in and just spam people all the time. They go out and they say, connect with me, and the minute you say yes, then the spam messages starts just raining on you. And they just don't know how to stop. Now, people are tired in LinkedIn operating like that, so they're very cautious to go out and just connect with people. What they prefer is to follow you so that they can see what you do. They can see your profile, they can see your content, and they can really go in and learn who you are and what you stand for, what you do, what you have to offer. People prefer that method more. So LinkedIn has got the most brilliant solution for this. What I offer people now is to say, you don't have to connect with this person straight away. You can follow him. And once you are satisfied and you think that this is a relationship you want to develop and take further, you can then connect with him. Now, what is the difference between a connection and a follower is what people sometimes ask me. The difference is very simple. A connection can go and message you and start sending you these spam messages, but you can also reply and you can message each other that way. A follower is exactly the same as a connection. They can also see your profile. They can see all of your post updates, your articles. They can see all of your activity in LinkedIn, except they cannot message you and you cannot message them. Now, the setting needs to be set to everyone. You want to give people that opportunity to follow you. If you don't set this to everyone, what is going to happen is people is going to land onto your profile, have a look and be interested and think, I would like to learn more about her and see what she has to offer. And then they can't find the follow button. And guess what? If it's really that important to them not to receive spam messages, they're just going to leave. Now, if you didn't set that first secret that I showed you, that first setting, if you didn't set that to no, they're going to find your competitors on your profile also, and they're going to move to your competitor, and your competitor might have the follow button, and you have lost an ideal opportunity to build a relationship with your ideal clients. So do make sure that you go into your settings and that you go and make absolutely sure that you set your follow to everyone so that people can go in and connect with you without doing the connection bit, so that they can follow you first and then decide to connect with you when they get to know you better and see what you have. And it's also a very valuable setting and method of operation in LinkedIn for you. If you don't like to be spammed, rather just go and follow people first before you connect. But do make sure that you have the follow set to everyone in LinkedIn. Another setting that is very important and that I want you to go and check and make sure that you do have this set up in the right way is share job changes, education changes, and work anniversaries from your profile. In other words, every time that something changes in your job or in your education, or you have a work anniversary, you want LinkedIn to notify your connections. Some people don't change this and don't make sure that it's set to yes. And what is happening is you lose out on opportunities for LinkedIn to do some marketing for you. Because if you want to reach out to all of your connections, you either need to start creating content and distribute that, or you need to start creating messages and send it out to your network. So let LinkedIn help you to market your profile by notifying your connections every time there's a change. Now, what we do, and this is just a little bit of a trick, and you can't do it all the time, but I just want to show you what you can do. So if we jump back into my profile and we go and have a look at how you can actually manipulate this to your advantage. And as I say, you can't do it all the time, but let's say after the webinar, you decide to implement some of the changes I'm still going to show you. What you can do is once you've implemented the changes, you can go to your experience, click on the little pencil edit button. And then what you do is you literally just go in, highlight your title, remove it, and paste it right back and press the save button. LinkedIn is going to go and say there's been a change and then start notifying your connections and notify them that there's a change. But like I said, don't do it all the time. You can only do it sometimes. Best is just make sure that it is set so that when you have an anniversary or you change anything, maybe you add an image or a video to your experience or another customer testimonial, that if you have that setting on, it is going to be very helpful for you to get LinkedIn to actually assist you in marketing your profile and help you with your marketing efforts. Another setting, and this is just a little bit of a bonus. I know I'm supposed to just give you 3, but I'm so fond of this one that I really want to highlight it for you. And this is notify your connections when you're in the news. In other words, if someone mentions you in a comment or talks about you publicly in LinkedIn, then what happens is LinkedIn is going to notify all your connections that you've been mentioned. And people can then click on that to go see why you were mentioned and what people were talking about. Now, some people don't want to set this to yes. They go out and they say, but what if somebody is talking and mentioning me in a negative manner? Maybe they're not happy with my service and they're now making noise about this publicly. So I would rather not have that on. Well, I disagree. For me, the philosophy is very simple. Exposure on LinkedIn is gold. So the more exposure you can get, the better. Besides, not everything goes according to plan all the time. And we all know this. You know, sometimes things is just not going your way and you're just not getting the results that you're aiming for. And people might be not satisfied with your services like they used to be. What is important is that should they say that in a comment or a post update in the newsfeed, you can utilize that opportunity to your advantage. Because what you can now do is you can go and show everybody, your level of professionalism, and how much emphasis you place on customer experience and customer satisfaction. So setting it to yes, negative or positive, is a huge opportunity. And I really recommend that you go out and utilize the opportunity to create as much exposure for your brand and your business on LinkedIn. There's a lot more in the settings, guys. There is so much more I can show you, but I've got itchy feet to take you through and show you the next step, because the next step is, what I really need you to understand is, this is how LinkedIn really works. And this is something that I know nobody has told you before. Now, this is not my system. This is not my structure. This is LinkedIn. And if you go and I'm going to show you how LinkedIn was designed to help you to market your business. As I said when I started, this is the most powerful marketing tool for your business available today. And it's all organic. You don't even have to pay for this kind of level of marketing. Now, LinkedIn, when you get a LinkedIn account, let's just look at the jargon. When you create a LinkedIn account, you immediately get a profile. And from your profile, you can then decide, do you want to create a page or more pages or a number of pages, or do you want to create a group? So those are choices you can make. But this is how LinkedIn works, because it starts as a funnel. And what you need to do is you really need to go in and create a profile where you can develop relationships with your connections, filter them down to your page, where you're going to then start building relationships with your connections with your business, and then filter them down to a group where you're going to become a community of like-minded individuals that is going to discuss and debate your business and your business solutions. And that is how you generate leads and ultimately clients in LinkedIn. Do you want me to show you how this works? Let's jump into my LinkedIn and let's start at the profile, and let me show you how powerful LinkedIn really is. I'm back in my profile. Now, let me just take you through the profile first, and this is very important. This is the starting point of your LinkedIn activities, and this is where everything begins. This is the first layer in that funnel that I showed you. Now, what is on the screen right now, we call above the fold. In the past, we used to say that people had 7 seconds to grab their audience, their visitors' attention when they land on the profile. With LinkedIn growing and becoming as popular as what it is today, that is now 3 seconds. So within 3 seconds of a person landing on your profile, they are going to decide, this is for me or this isn't for me. Now, why is that so important? Well, your profile is really about your personal branding. Think about this as, this is where you can display you as the brand ambassador, the representative of your business. So this is where you're going to start building relationships. Remember, people buy from people. So what is important here is the relationship building process in LinkedIn starts with you, not your business. And this is why spamming people doesn't work. People are looking at you and what you have to offer. And you need to become the perfect ambassador for your business. Whether you're the business owner or just an employee, doesn't matter. LinkedIn has created its structures in such a way that this is what the profile was meant to do. So how can you make sure that you create a good first impression? Well, it starts with a banner. LinkedIn comes with that awful blue bar-looking banner. You've got to replace that with something that is attractive and that will catch the eye. Most important in the banner is the little tagline that you need to add on the banner. Now, I call it a soft advert. In other words, it is a statement to say, what are you doing here? What is the objective? But the whole message must be focused on what is in it for them. The people that's on your profile, that just landed on your profile, they are only interested in why they are here. They're not interested in what you have to sell. It's all about them. So the message must be, what will they get by staying here? By going past that 3 seconds and making sure that they start scrolling down and become part of this funnel I am talking about. I could very easily say there, I do a LinkedIn done for you service. Why don't I? Because nobody cares about that at this point. At this point, it's all about them. Now, to create a banner is very easy. You can use tools like Canva or any one of those, or you can decide, like I did, that this is so important, and I went and asked a graphic designer to design my banner. You see, you need to create the banner first, and then once you've got your banner, you click on your little pencil edit, and then you're going to change your photo by uploading it from your hard drive, and that is how you add a banner into your LinkedIn profile. So spend time on designing your banner with your end user, your client, your lead, your prospect in mind, not with what you are doing. The second area that's very, very important on your profile is your profile picture. Now, in the past, we used to say to people, go and get a professional picture taken. But, you know, with the technology and cell phones today, you can take a very, very nice picture of yourself with a cell phone or a device like that. But the important part is it needs to look professional. In other words, you don't want to sit here with your pet on your lap. You also don't want to have your entire body displayed far in the distance. You want to have a head and shoulder kind of picture where you almost look a person virtually in the eye with a smile on your face. You want to say to a person when they land on here and they look at your picture, it must almost be that you're about to say, welcome, I'm glad you're here. That kind of image is what you want to display. Why is that so important? Well, people buy from people, and first impressions last. If a person lands on your profile, what you want them to see is that you are absolutely going the extra mile for your customers, that you will do more than what is necessary, and that you care about attention to detail. So that is why we need to take time and really design the imagery on our profile. This is where it all starts. And people are not going to take action if the start is not a good experience. So do go and spend some time, look at your banner, look at your profile picture, and see how you can improve that. The next area that's important is your name. Now, we do a little bit of a trick, and let me show you. What we do is in the first name field, we put our first name and our last name. And then what we do is we use the last name field to explain what I do, what I stand for, what I try to achieve for you. I opted to say marketing strategy specialist. I could have said marketing strategy expert, guru. You don't have to say, or it doesn't have to be a person or a persona. I could have said LinkedIn marketing made easy, as an example, or LinkedIn marketing that makes sense. So that kind of message, what is more important here is it has to be punchy and it has to grab a person's attention. Plus, you need to starting to focus on your keyword. Now, if we then just look at, once you've added this and saved it, if you have a look at this above the fold area and you just start looking, my keywords marketing. So if you just scroll over my above the fold and start noticing how many keywords you see, or how many words do you see that says marketing? It's all over the show. There is no way that the person that lands on my profile is not going to get the clear understanding. I am marketing. That is what I do. And that is the impression that you want to leave, because two things. When we start training people, we show them that they need to focus on one, and people are always standing back and say, but I also do this, and I also do this. What you need to focus on and where the power comes in is the power of one. You don't want to create any confusion. Once a person is interested and you started building the relationship, you can always go and introduce them to your other products and your other services that you have. But in here, pick a keyword. The last area I want to spend time on here is I want to show you your headline. Now, for most people, this would be CEO at company XYZ or human resources manager at company ABC. Whatever, it doesn't matter, because why don't we use that? Simply because nobody cares. And that is something you clearly need to understand. People don't care that you're the CEO of the company. People don't care that you are the human resources manager of your company. What people care about is what is in it for them. They are here for their reasons, not yours. And you have got 3 seconds to convince them to relationship with you. Remember, this is not a numbers game. We're not busy selling people or trying to get a lead. We are trying to start right at the beginning. And right at the beginning in LinkedIn is building that relationship. And that relationship ultimately can become a lead, a collaborator, a referrer, a client. But it's not going to happen unless we get the relationship going at this stage. Now, how do we set up this headline? You've got 3 options. And these 3 options I have tested over the years, and they work brilliantly. The first one that you can do is what I call the mission statement. Let's say that you go out and you are an NGO or a non-profit, and you are supporting a cause, let's say the hunger in Africa. So you can come in with your mission statement and say, I support the hunger in Africa, please join me. Or we are focused on the Hunger for Africa mission, join us, support us. So that makes it very clear of what you are doing, and it works brilliantly if it is for a specific cause as a non-profit. So if you are in that kind of space, that will be very effective for you. The second way that you can set up this headline, and most LinkedIn specialists will advise you to not do this, but I have found it's very effective, and that is what we call the egocentric headline. Let me explain that. The egocentric headline is when you go in and you say, I do this, I do that, and it's all about you. Now, I agree. If it's all about you, then my statement that everything here is about them doesn't make sense. But when it is effective is when you are a celebrity and your audience know about you. Let's say I'm Tony Robbins or Gary Vee or Bob Proctor or anybody, celebrity like that, Oprah Winfrey. For me to go in and explain as Tony Robbins what I do is nonsensical. It borders on being silly. We all know who Tony Robbins is and what he stands for, what he does, and what he has to offer. So if I'm Tony Robbins, what you really want is his audience want to know, where will he be next? What is he doing currently? What is he focusing on? Because that is important to me. I want to be there. So if I land on Tony Robbins's profile and he says, I will be in Singapore in November for our annual conference, I will appreciate that because I wanted to know that. I want to support him. I'm a fan of his. So for celebrities, that is a headline that works well. However, you could be a celebrity in the business world. Let me give you an example. Let's say I'm Gareth Cliff. We all know that he interviews people in businesses and so on, and we're all familiar with what he does. So he can also use an egocentric kind of headline because his audience, his connections in LinkedIn will want to know that. People that land on his profile for the first time are going to say, oh, wow, look, this is Gareth Cliff. And then if he has an egocentric kind of headline, they're going to appreciate the information because they don't have to go scrolling around and try and find out what he does. The third one, and this is where 99% of us will find ourselves within LinkedIn, is what we call the customer-centric headline. Now, this is when we want to support the idea of this is all about what's in it for them. The people that landed on your profile that don't know you from a bar of soap wants to know why should they stay here for any second longer than the 3 that statistics revealed they will stay here. And we have to very quickly grab their attention so that we can get an opportunity to build this relationship. Because this above the fold, and I've said it before, focuses on the one objective, to start building this relationship. So what you want to do in a customer-centric profile is you want to go in and you want to speak to your target audience. You want to call him out. So the formula is very simple. You want to go with answering 3 questions: the who, the what, the how. So the first is the who. I assist business executives. I guide human resource directors, whoever your target audience is. And this is why it's so important that you pick one. You need to call the person by name. So any business executive that land on my profile is going to say, hey, she's talking to me. She's calling me out. I am a business executive. What is this all about? And that takes us then to the what. And the what is in it for them. If they're going to stay on this profile, if they are going to make the decision to either follow me or connect with me, but start this relationship with me, what will they get out of this? We already qualified them as business executives. Now, Mr. Business or Mrs. Business Executive wants to know what is in it for them. And that is when you need to offer them the solution they're looking for. Remember, they are here for their reasons, not yours. So what is important is that you show them what they are going to gain by starting this relationship with you. Remember, we are busy creating the relationship. We are not here to generate leads or clients. We are at the start of the funnel. The first thing you need to establish, your objective with your profile and this above the fold, is to start the relationship. So you've got to give something very compelling, very punchy, that says, I will increase your sales opportunities by 45%. And you need to create credibility, because if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. And that is what is going through your visitor's mind. So you need to explain to him that you've got a method, you've got a system, you've got a product, you've got a service that will achieve this for him. So this is how we set up the first layer in the funnel, by setting up your profile in such a way. And guys, we'll spend a lot of time today on explaining how your profile above the fold works, because I need you to understand how important it is. Remember, the objective is to start building the relationship. Now I'm going to show you how powerful LinkedIn is. And this is what LinkedIn has done. And this is how LinkedIn works. And nobody has shown you this before. Because as I now grabbed the person's attention and we started building a relationship, we started liking and sharing and commenting on each other's posts, and we are sending messages. We are starting to have a relationship and talking to one another. I am now going to push him down that funnel to my page. And I'm not going to go and tell him to go to another area. He can select my page right from my profile. And that is how LinkedIn, in actual fact, created the platform, so that we can use this funnel. So now that I've invited people to come to the page, they found my page through my profile. As they started seeing what we do, setting up your page is very similar to your profile. The difference between the profile and the page is the page focuses on the business and the business branding. So where your profile is, where you are the representative, the ambassador of your business, we're now in the business. Now we are focusing on what the business can offer to our connection that has now become a follower of the page. Again, you need to set up a very professional looking banner. And please notice it's bigger than the profile banner. And you again want to do a soft advert with a tag. And this time it's not what you can offer, it's what the business is doing. It is the business slogan that you want to add in here. And you want to add your business's logo as well. And some people ask, but Tilly, can't I just use my profile picture? Preferably not, because you want to have the differentiation between your profile and your business, so that people can understand they've moved from a personal relationship with you to a business relationship with you. And so you need to spend time in the above the fold and what people see on your business page as well, so that they can now understand. And now it starts making sense, because you showed them how you, as the ambassador, can help them to increase their sales opportunities, build the relationships. They got to know, like, and trust you personally. Now they're in the business and they can see all the products, all the services, your team, your support structures. The whole layout of your business is now at their feet, and they can now start making decisions whether or not they want to start utilizing your business. Now, LinkedIn, beautifully as their marketing tool is, has now given you the third layer in your funnel, and that is we can now go to our page, our group. And this is the last layer in the funnel. And the idea with the group is very simple, is to create a community of like-minded professionals supporting a specific cause. I like to call the group a Me Too area, because this is what happens. When I onboard a new client in my business, the first thing I say to him, why don't you come to my group? Why don't you join my group on LinkedIn? You know, we talk about the support structures, the team, the systems you are using. We explain more how it works and anything that you need assistance with. So I get my customers in here so that we can start talking publicly about my services and how I assist them, while I am going through the funnel, pushing people from the profile to the page to the group. And these people are still leads and prospects. They're not my clients yet. But now they're sitting and they're seeing the relationship between all of us, me and my clients, and they then say, me too, I want this. I also want to have what all of these guys are having, and so on. And that is when we generate leads. We also have the same structure where you have to have a banner and a logo, and the name of your group doesn't necessarily have to be a specific name. What we're looking for, and it doesn't need to have to be your company name or a product name. It could be the concept that you support. In our case, it is all about boosting your online business growth. Now, LinkedIn always advise you can either say for whom it is, or you can use an area. So I could have said online business growth in Sandton. So that is how we select the name for the group. The way that the group is set up, on the left-hand side is all me stuff. So if somebody lands on my group and they haven't connected with me yet, they can do so over here. In the middle is all of the post updates that we have, and how we communicate with one another. And on the right-hand side, we've got a little bit about the group itself, what the group stands for, as well as the rules. There has to be rules when there is a community. And then we have all of the admins. So if you want to connect with any one of the admins from here, we give our community an opportunity for that as well. Now, I bet that you have never understood that LinkedIn, in fact, is a funnel like this. Now, I've created a funnel picture like this because at any point in time while you are building your funnel in LinkedIn, a person can decide to become a lead and a client from your profile or from your page or from your group. But if they don't, you keep on marketing and you don't waste any time or effort in this. So go and set up your LinkedIn in this way, because what you're really going to achieve by doing it this way is you are going to be able to build a very, very strong relationships in LinkedIn. The third step is really, how do you go and nurture these relationships while you're building this funnel? How do you get people to move from your profile to your page to your group? And it is very easy. It's through content. I fondly refer to content as the universal language of the online world. And Without content, people are never going to understand what you stand for, what you have to offer, what is in it for them, why they should engage with you. So content plays a huge role in LinkedIn. Now, there's two types of content that works extremely well, and that is to educate people and to entertain. And I call it edutainment. In other words, what you want to do is you want to create content where you educate people on the topic, adding huge value to them, where you show them how it works, show them how your products work, show them how your services work without saying, buy my stuff. In other words, you want to give them methods of how they can achieve their goals better through using certain aspects and concepts in your business. The second area of content is entertainment. Now, entertainment is not necessarily where you go in and you need to use humor and those kinds of things. I found one type of entertainment content that works very well for me is the case study. You know, when you go in and you start telling the story where you can go and say, well, before my client engaged with me, this is where he was, this is what happened. And then he engaged with me, this is what we did. And now he has the following results. If you can tell that in a story, it is powerful. It is so powerful. Now, what is important is LinkedIn is a relationship building tool. So you need to go out and it's a give and take kind of situation. And what you want to do is you want to make absolutely sure that you go and you also build relationships by engaging with your first connections, with your connections content. Let's jump over back into my LinkedIn and let me go show you how this actually works. So if we go down back into the home page on LinkedIn, what you want to do is, let's say I want to go and find content related to marketing. So you will go search for marketing and specifically for content. Then you're going to find all of the content that is available on LinkedIn related to marketing. However, I want to build relationships. I don't want to just go like and share for the sake of like and share. So what I want to do is I'm looking for the content of my first connections so that I can go and engage with their content and start strengthening this relationship. Now, there's a very specific way in which we do this. What you want to do is, Jacques has posted an article and he has got a specific reason that he wanted to go out and start posting this update. So what I can do is I can go in and I can now comment on Jacques' post. But instead of doing what I see most people do, and just go and say, Jacques, this was great. Love your post. Love to see your stuff all the time. I can now go in and rather focus on helping Jacques because I'm building a relationship with him. So I can go and ask him a question about this. Maybe I can go in and ask him something around, you have everything needed for the extravagant journey that is your life. Tell me more. What do you mean? I don't understand. Jacques is going to appreciate me for doing this because I am helping him to get more engagement and I'm helping him to get more exposure. Because when you start asking questions, you actually start creating a conversation. And this is where the power of LinkedIn is. You want to create that conversation. Now, at the same time, as you engage with other people's posts in this manner, you are exposing your brand more as well. And that is also important, because what I want you to remember is that if you go out and start posting post updates, you can't just go out and just post an update and hope that people will see it. It's not going to happen that way. What you want to do is you want to go in and you want to go and find a post update that you've done that is starting to get engagement. And then what you want to do is you want to go in and you want to start posting this and distributing this all over LinkedIn. Now, most people, when they go and I tell them to go and distribute it, what they want to do is they just want to go and copy this post and then go and paste it into other groups and other areas on LinkedIn. And that is exactly what you don't want to do. You don't want to create multiple posts of this. What you want to do is you want to go and create exposure for this post. Now, there's a simple trick to do this. What you do is you click on your little eclipse and you copy the link. Now you're going to jump over and you're going to go and find other groups where you can go in and distribute it. So let's jump over to a group and let me go show you how you can actually now go into various groups to go and expose this. So if you're in the groups over here, what you can do is you can go and select any one of these groups, and you can then decide, I want to go into this group, and I'm going to post that link that I've just created in here. However, when you're in a group, please look at the wording, because LinkedIn, as powerful and fantastic a marketing tool it is, guides you every step of the way. And what it's saying is start a conversation in this group. They're not saying post an update. They're not saying copy your stuff in here and spam the group. They're saying start a conversation. And a conversation is a two-way communication. So what you want to do is you want to go into this group and you want to say, I created this awesome post that will explain to you how to do this. And it has to be supportive of the group that you're posting in, because you don't want to spam the group. You want the group admin and owner to thank you for adding value to their group. And then once you explain why you wrote the group, you can say, the link will be in the comments, or comment and I will send you the link, or you can just go and post your link in here, and then people can go and engage with the post. And that is very important, because you want to distribute your post. You want to be in a position where you can go in and start engaging with people and building this relationship, so that through content you can go and push people from the profile to the page to the group. The secret, guys, the secret is to learn to be interested, not interesting. And the simplicity of the statement is, be interested in your connections. Stop being trying to be interesting by showing them your worth, your knowledge, your expertise, your IP. Rather be interested in what they are doing and focus on building relationships and creating exposure for your business. I have to tell you the Jeremy story. This is the one time where these secrets that I'm revealing to you today worked too well. You see, when I started with Jeremy, he was totally adamant that LinkedIn is not working, that LinkedIn is a waste of time. It takes your focus away from your business. You spend a lot of time and effort and sometimes even money, and you get no return on investment. Well, I convinced him to give us a try. And after 4 months, he made over 500,000 Australian dollars, and he had to fire us because he had so many leads that he had to go and restructure his business with sales staff to start looking after the leads and start following up on the work that we've established. Now, this is not happening all the time, but it is very possible if you focus on establishing firm relationships on LinkedIn. You know, throughout the years that I worked on LinkedIn, there are 10 things that I realized you must have to be successful on LinkedIn. If you want to use LinkedIn as the ultimate marketing tool, if you want to generate leads and clients on LinkedIn, you have to have any one of these. You have to have all of these 10 points in to make sure that you achieve your goals. Now, grab a pen and paper if you've got one close by and just answer yes or no as I shout out these areas. Do you have a banner that has a business-focused text message, both on your profile and your page? And I'm talking about that soft advert that I showed you both on my profile as well as on my page. Do you have a professional profile image? In other words, are you displaying yourself as the ambassador or representative of your business in a very professional way? Do you have 10 or more keywords that you want to be found for? In other words, when people land on your profile and they squiz over your profile like that, they can clearly see marketing, 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 and they can understand what you're about. Do you have more than 1,000 profile views? You know, profile views means traffic, LinkedIn traffic, eyeballs on your profile. We found the magic number 1,000. Once you've got 1,000 profile views, you've got enough visitors on your profile on a daily basis to start funneling them through your profile to your page. So very important number to remember. Go and see if you've got 1,000 profile views. Do you have post updates? Do your post updates get more than 100 views? Guys, it should be 1,000. It should be 10,000. However, do you know how many people don't even get one view? Unless your post updates get at least 100 views, your content will never work for you. Do you have a LinkedIn page? And do you have more than 500 followers? In other words, is this funnel starting to work for you? Are people building healthy relationships with you and wanting to follow your page? Do you receive at least 10 or more connections per week? In other words, are you being offered by LinkedIn as a solution in a search? Does your profile focus on the clients you wish to attract? In other words, are you focusing on that one? That absolute the power of one. Are you laser targeted in your efforts? And do you post at least one update or one article daily? These are extremely important for you to have. And once you have this, what you need to understand is there are 21 steps. And I just highlighted the tip of the iceberg. So I'm going to hand back to Esty to show you how you can learn more about these 21 steps. Esty, back to you.
Thanks so much, Tilly. Yes, guys, and what we want to do now is just contextualize things for you so that you know where things fit in with these 21 steps. So we have set you, it's a building block. You have to do things consecutively and consistently for it to be able to work. But I just want to let you know within where in the steps you start, based on that evaluator that Tilly's just gone through, where you will start seeing some action and activity happens. So for instance, from number 10 onwards, you should start seeing movement in your profile visits. So that's why also Tilly says right at the beginning, if you just implement the revised 3 secrets that we've just told you, the profile views and so forth, those will start going up automatically, and that can start going up already from tomorrow. By the time you get to 18, you should be at that lucky number of 1,000. And remember, guys, at 1,000 is where we start seeing lead generation happening. So that is the exciting bit and the exciting, process that you'll start seeing the change immediately. That's the nice thing about LinkedIn. What you put in is what you're going to get out. So, the 21 steps might look overwhelming. I get it. And it might seem quite complicated. So what we've done based on some feedback from this training is we've put together something called LinkedInacity, which is a 7-day taking you through the 21 steps that'll really turn your LinkedIn profile and your business page into a lead generating machine, which is going to result in absolute clients so that you can not just have these abundance of leads. So some of the things that we're going to be able to help you with is, mastering those account settings, the ones that people never tell you about, the ones Tilly went through, and she said she just touched on the tip of the iceberg today. Rewriting that profile of yours, making sure that it's optimized, the banners, the profile images, and so forth. Getting traffic, that's the important bit. Getting traffic to your profile, making sure that your content is exposed to your ideal target audience. Getting the content 100% correct. You see how this all works layer by layer, guys, and why you have to start right at the top. And then you can't fix what you can't measure. So also teaching you about the measurement and so forth. So we got two options that we can work with here. And depending on how you want to learn, we've got a LinkedInacity Digital and we've got a LinkedInacity Live. So the difference between the two is LinkedInacity Live is 7 days of online mentorship. You spend the time with us. You've got us for about 2 hours every single day. It's over 7 days. We give you a break in between because it does, just to help you to catch up. And it's live mentorship, and we do live Q&As with you. A lot of profile reviews come through and lifetime access. On the LinkedInacity Digital, exactly the same, except there's no live, but you get the 7-day recording. So it's exactly the same on-demand training that you get. And then when you've got questions, you pop into the Facebook group, you go, hey, Esty, Tilly, Brian, please have a look at this. I'm not sure what to do here, and please guide me on the process. I quickly just want to take you through what it is that we're going to be dealing with from the 7 days so that you can get an understanding how those 21 steps work. So we've got 7 modules and 3 steps in every module. Account settings is module number 1, getting that basis right, making sure everything is 100% set up for success. Number 2, that personal profile, getting it spot on in terms of using the right keywords, doing your banners, your images, focusing on the problem statement that you are helping your clients and prospective clients to solve. Your LinkedIn page. A lot of you guys in the chat have asked, I don't understand the difference between LinkedIn page, the business page, and the profile. How do they work? And how do I drive traffic from my profile to my page? There's the traffic, the important bit. I've told you guys about this. There's no point in having this awesome profile and no one actually sees it. And then content and messages. And it's one of the things I said earlier. These aren't templates. These are things we use in our businesses for our clients that we know work, and we provide you guidance on how to adapt them for your actual businesses. And then the measurement. We're very good at identifying what goes wrong, and I promise you guys, stuff goes wrong. And you need to know what lever to pull, what the system is to be able to fix that. And then some bonuses that we've also thrown in just to help you and enable you further. We've got ultimate templates. We've got a workbook that you can work through. And yes, it just really, really helps you get where you need to go. So this is what we've done. We've got 2 options, LinkedInacity Digital, LinkedInacity Live. And you can see on the screen all the value that you guys are going to get. 1597 for digital and 4997 for live. The value is really, really high, guys. You can see over 20,000, over 40,000 Rand. But what we've actually done, and it happened at 10:30 this morning, we went and had a quick chat between us, and we thought, you know what? We're going to cut the prices for you guys because we really want to help out. So we've discounted LinkedInacity Digital to 997 and LinkedInacity Live to 2997. So we would love to have you on board and come and learn how to harness this channel absolutely perfectly so that you can get the best of it. And we provide a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you do what we say, you work the system, and it doesn't work for you, then we'll give you your money back. There's absolutely no questions asked. So I want to just ask you, if it did 2 clients or 5 or 10, what is that worth to you? How's that going to change your business? How's it going to change your business really to learn how to harness this channel properly, to have it work with you as opposed to against you, so that you're using your time 100% correctly? And like Tilly said, this is not stuff you're going to get anywhere else. And who has the time for the 3.5 billion anyway? And we're not coaches. We're absolute not trainers. We are 3 business owners, and we do this with our clients every single day. So we know what works. And we also, on a lot of the lives that we do, guys, in the pre-recordings, we'll go through what's gone wrong with our clients as well, because that also happens all the time. And, we've got to deal with those issues. So these are some of the things you may be thinking. And I'm not going to go through it, but these are some of the concerns that some of our cohort students have had. So what I want to do is just quickly show you something.
And this course has absolutely wowed me.
It's real stuff. It's real things from experience.
You've given us the practical tools that we need, the support that we need.
It's been well worth it.
I've learned a lot.
I really appreciated the personal coaching.
This is going to really give me a step towards, success.
We have got the tools, we have got the videos that we can step by step stop and go ahead.
Your knowledge, your presentation, how you've dealt on the training course is it's just amazing.
It was an incredible deep dive.
The whole way that I look at LinkedIn has changed completely.
You've really shared with us all the experience that you've garnered.
I think the coaching around the profiles was very useful.
People are having such significant results.
I've already had one massive lead from discovery.
I've got like 4 meetings now for next week.
We are there to assist you, to help you to get to a stage where, we are assisting in terms of as much mentorship and assistance that we can require. So you really got 2 choices, guys. You can implement those 3 steps and secrets that Tilly's had and immediately start seeing your profile views are going to go up. And we hope you get to those 1,000 profile views where you really are going to start generating leads. Or you could be like some of these students that we've had and have really harnessed the power of LinkedIn, have got some meetings already. Some of the cohorts got meetings while they were still busy with the course. And it's an exciting time to be. Everything we learn, we can implement and make sure that it's making a remarkable impact. So what I think we should do, and I haven't checked with Brian and Tilly, so I'm sorry, but while we do Q&A, I am going to give you the page to go and purchase. There should be a button up there as well where you can join us for the discounted prices, and come back into the chat while we do Q&A. Tell us that you've bought, and we are going to gift you an additional either live or digital, and maybe even if you want to upgrade or whatever the case is. So we're going to gift you some stuff. Come back, let us know that you've bought. And I want to really just, while we're doing that Q&A and while you guys are thinking about whether this investment is worth to you, I really want to just remind you that the world is opening back up for business. So I want to make sure that the clients know that you are too, and that you've got your arsenal in place to be ready to get the lead generation going, to make sure that this channel works with you and not against you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now do some Q&A. Remember, pop over, and at the end of the Q&A, we are also going to be giving away that free profile rewrite. So pop over to the payment page, go make the investment in yourself and your business, come into the chat and let us know while we handle Q&A. When Q&A is finished, we're going to announce those lucky winners. And yes, Tilly, let's quickly just delve into that at the moment. So Ziyanda wants to know, how do you claim your business page if it was left hanging after deleting the personal account? That's an interesting one. We haven't had that one before.
Yeah, the only way you're going to be able to handle that is you're going to have to get hold of LinkedIn. The LinkedIn support. If you go to the bottom of LinkedIn, almost in the page and in the group, as well as your profile, you'll see there is a button that says contact us. You're going to have to ask LinkedIn to remove it, because you won't be able to create another one, because LinkedIn is going to say there's already a page like that. That, unfortunately, is the only way that you're going to be able to reclaim your page.
Thank you. And then Daryl wants to know, this is one that comes up quite often, would it be advisable to clean out your profile network with non-relevant contacts? I've got over 7,000 in the network, but only half are relevant.
It's going to be very beneficial for you if you do an audit like that, because you want to have your marketing laser targeted, and you don't want to waste time building relationships with people that's not relevant. Just a word of caution, you can only do this manually, one by one. So this is going to be quite an exercise.
Yes, and we also, just guys, when you start going through those 42 questions that you've got as a free gift, make sure that, and a lot of times people, like I said at the beginning, LinkedIn was viewed as an online resume. So you want to go and check who is on your profile, who is connections. And, and a lot of times, as we say to clients, it's not going to do harm, but make sure, competitors and so forth aren't, because all they're going to do is see your content and so forth. Carol wants to know, does one pay to be part of LinkedIn? No, Carol, it's absolutely free. There's a difference between the tools that you can use for lead generation. One is Premium and one is Sales Navigator. We don't profess to use Premium. It's not really everything it's chalked up to be. Sales Navigator is a very, very informative and laser focused tool that we use for our clients to make sure that we can target the right individuals and start the conversations and make sure that we get the right engagement. Do I keep my competitors connected, or do I follow them?
I would rather follow them. You don't want to engage with them that much. And then it's also up to you. Remember, when you follow your competitors, not only can you see their stuff, they can see yours as well. So I would rather just follow them, and I would be very selective. If I do follow my competitors, yeah, it's not a practice that I would do.
Cool. Can you throw some light on how we can deal with non-connected contacts? When should we remove the connection and reconnect them?
I'm just looking at the question, and I'm just sort of wanting to make sure that I fully understand what you're after. If you disconnect with someone, the LinkedIn rule says that you can't reconnect with them for 3 weeks. So if you do remove someone, just remember that if you need to connect with them again, there's going to be a 3-week period before you can connect again.
Karen wants to know, I am sitting at a crossroads. Should I carry on with my present employment designing websites and social media, or go back in the market and look for a job in hospitality? So not really sure if my profile should be for the company or just myself.
You're always in your profile a representative of your business. So if your business is that you're aligned with your company at the moment, then your profile is going to be supportive of your company and the employment that you're in at the moment. If you're deciding to go on your own, then you're going to have to represent yourself in your own business, and you're going to have to change your profile accordingly.
Cool. I just want to go, there were some interesting questions down at the bottom. I just want to delve into this. Oh, there we go. Quinton wanted to know, how do I set up my business page to include banner and then to create? So it's more about how do you deal with the business page and the group, setting all those things up?
You've got to do the setting. You start actually with your profile. So what you need to do is, in your experience, you need to select your business page, which will then link your profile to your business page. And once you're in your business page, in the admin settings, there is your featured group, and that is where you select your group, and that is how we create the funnel going from one to the other.
We have had quite a couple of questions coming up with, I've got multiple businesses. How do I deal with that?
The best way to do with multiple businesses is you need to, in your profile, decide on one. You need to go into the market with one, so that when you do the personal relationships and the personal branding, that you just represent one. Otherwise, it gets very confusing. What you can do from there is you can link them to a page, and in the page, you can create what we call showcase pages, which is sub-pages of the main page. So that is one way that you can deal with multiple businesses. And if the businesses has got absolutely nothing to do with each other, then you can select different pages. You, however, in your profile will need to decide what personal branding you're going to use for what business. You can only select one, otherwise it's too confusing.
Then a couple of questions just regard to the live and the digital. The live course, we obviously work with you over 7 days. It gets scheduled. We've only got 2 cohorts a month that we do it, because obviously we have our own businesses that we run. The digital is available to you basically straight after you've purchased. And it's do in your own time and so forth. And as you go through the actual modules, you can just pop over to the Facebook page and ask questions as and when you need. A lot of you guys are asking, can you come back to us and think about it and so forth? Absolutely. I'm not 100% sure, though, whether we're going to keep these prices, guys. The normal price for us is 15997 and 4997. So I'm not 100% sure. Let's have a look which else we've got here. Oh, the different functions between the personal profile and the business page. How do you change the content a little bit, and do you need different content for them?
You actually do need different content, and the difference really is very simple to explain. On your profile, it is going to be your opinion. In other words, all of your posts and content is going to be around you as a person that views things in a certain way. So it's opinions that you're going to educate people on, and the way that you see things based on research that you do. Your page is business. So on your page, you're going to highlight what your products do, what your services is all about, who's your team members. You can display your team members, your customer services support. So your page is all about educating people on your business, and it's very factual around what you have. So that is the simplest way to explain the difference between the two.
And then also a question from Harry is, do I have to have a business page?
Absolutely. The reason being is you want to create a platform in LinkedIn where you can have the personal relationship. And once you have the personal relationship going, you want to push them to your page where it's all about business. And the reason for that is now I can sell. If somebody accepts my page and wants to follow my page, they can expect me to go in with things like we have a discount. We offer a webinar where you can come and have a look. We offer events. So in my page, I can highlight special offers and so on that we have. So you want to have the two differentiated, because you don't want to be salesy in your personal profile, but you most definitely can get salesy in your page.
Then Angie wanted to know, the company whose page I manage sells high-ticket executive coaching to companies. We're struggling to increase the views and follows as our target is quite niche. What is your advice there?
We call it group work. What you're going to have to do is engage more. So the reason why you don't get views is you're not engaging enough. A lot of times people try all sorts of tricks and automation tools and so on to drive more traffic. And the easiest way is just engage more. Engage more on your target audience's content. Engage when somebody visits your profile. Go into various groups and engage on the content in there, and do the engagement as I showed you today. Don't just go in and leave any arbitrary kind of comment. Ask questions, create conversations, be visible without spamming people and without, like Esty sometimes say, vomiting too much content. So become interested in the audience that you're targeting.
So guys, I always have an analogy. It's like walking into a bar, not knowing anybody, going up to the counter, seeing a dude that you've never seen before and going, hey, I don't know your name. Shall we get married and shall we have 2 kids? Okay, you wouldn't do that in real life. And a couple of questions have come in the chat as well is, I'm struggling to get engagement. I'm struggling people to convert. They're not wanting to do my demos. They're not wanting to, take my calls. Generically, in general, people are not rude. So when you do the engagement, the connection request, they will engage, right? And then that's where it stops. So you've got a couple of levers you've got to pull, and that's why the 21 steps are so important, and the 42-page questionnaire is important. Because if you're targeting the wrong person, they will connect and do nothing. Then you're wasting time. Or what you're doing is you connecting with the right person, and then you're being the weird person that walks into the bar and proposes marriage before the first date. Just think of this like dating. First, go out for a cup of coffee. Then you can maybe go out for dinner. Then it's maybe meet the parents. And from there on and there on and there on. Think of LinkedIn as exactly the same process. And it's about your intent. If your intent is to sell, you're not going to convert. If your intent is to build a relationship and to add value, that's where the conversions come in. And Midan wants to know, we already have a company page. Should we have separate pages for each of our software products?
Medan, absolutely. You know, most of the IT companies that we work with, like Cisco and HP and those kind of IT companies, do have various pages and sub-pages. the only thing that I need to highlight is if you have a company page and separate pages for each one of your products, you're duplicating and tripling your efforts. In other words, you've got to go and create content for each page and market each page. So it just gets a lot of work. But if you've got the infrastructure to do that, then absolutely, if you do it that way, it's almost like double whamming your efforts. It's going to add huge value to you.
Susan wants to know, Heinrich, no, LinkedIn Premium, please stay away from it, but you've bought the course, so we will take you through exactly how to work Navigator and how to harness that power, and also teach you some free versions, so please don't buy Premium. Susan wants to know, would it be a good idea to follow your suppliers with whom you do not have exclusivity if your clients or competitors will see it? That's a very interesting question.
If you just say that again, I'm not with you on this.
So it's like when we have our IT clients, right? So IBM has a lot of resellers that they have. So Susan wants to know if they, for instance, are an IBM reseller, should they follow IBM knowing that prospective clients might see it, but competitors definitely will?
It could be a good idea for exposure and getting people to reach out to you. I would be very, very careful not to get my fingers slapped by engaging too much. So my gut feeling would say is you might limit your activities a little bit with a strategy like that. So I don't know if it would be a good idea. It would be an idea to get exposure and to get inside information. You're just not going to be able to put your nose out too much.
Laurie says, I don't think I could write fresh content every day. And you don't need to, Laurie. We actually teach you in the course how to take one piece of content and turn it 9 times over in different ways for your personal profile and your business page, so that you don't have, no one's got time to write reams and reams of content. Midan wants to know, what should the frequency be of using my LinkedIn profile as a backlink tool to promote traffic to my website? No social media channel likes you taking traffic off their site. So don't do that as your primary function. LinkedIn has got a lot of space in terms of being able to publish blog articles and so forth. They don't really love you channeling, things to Facebook or Twitter or your website or so forth. Someone asked, sorry, I've missed it there. Oh, go for it, Tilly.
The LinkedIn actually is catering for driving traffic to your website, and this is why you should have a page, because on your page there is an option where you can go and create a button to your website. So you can say, contact us, register us. So LinkedIn actually is catered for that. So that is also a reason why you need to have a page and why you need to funnel people to your page, because you can drive them from your page very legally with LinkedIn's blessing from your page to your website without ever doing a link. Oh, Esther's gone.
Oh, no, I'm back. Last question, guys, because we've run out of time. Kay wants to know, how successful have you been in promoting industry organizations that represent a group, such as landscapers? Such interesting questions today.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely awesome. One of the things that you need to understand is you have to create the group in the right way. Creating groups in LinkedIn is a little bit more tricky than just creating groups, for instance, as in Facebook. If you're just going to create a group for the sake of creating a group, you're not going to get a lot of engagement. You need to have the value statement very clear in your own mind in what is the objective of that group and how will people benefit from being in that group. If you can get people to buy in and see the benefit and what is in it for them, then setting up a group is a fantastic tool in LinkedIn. If you do it the wrong way, it's going to be another headache.
Awesome. And then we have announced some of the winners. Guys, Angie, you've asked the most interesting questions today, so we are gifting you that rewrite of your profile. And it's a pleasure, Angie. We will be in touch with you. And then Charlotte, you are going to be able to gift a digital course to somebody. So congratulations. And Greg, fastest fingers first, you are going to be able to gift a live course to somebody. So guys, that's just about us wrapping up. We are so privileged that you guys have spent the time with us. We really are appreciative, and we are honored that it's been almost 2 hours and you guys are still stuck around. Please visit the Boost Sale Facebook page. If you've got any more questions, we will assist you. And then goodbye, good luck. We will see our cohort students and digital students pretty soon. And if you haven't invested yet, you will get recordings, but please just invest pretty soon if you're interested, so that we can make sure we get you those awesome prices. Cheers, everyone. Have an awesome day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.